Hi my beauties! So to start off with this New Year's Eve look, I'm taking the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer as my eye primer today. I'm placing this on my entire eyelid, and this basically cancels out any veining and just balances out my entire eyelid. So taking the beautiful Anastasia Self-Made Palette, this is Buttery, and I'm taking a big fluffy eyeshadow brush and just placing this color on my entire lids, and this pretty much just sets the concealer that I put down. So I am then taking Sherbet, and with a fluffy crease brush, I'm placing this onto my crease. I'm not taking this all the way in, so it's pretty much 3/4 into my crease, and I'm just blending the color. And then I take Hot and Cold, which is a little bit deeper than Sherbet, and placing this also into my crease as well, and pretty much just blending the two colors together to create the perfect crease color. And then blending all those colors together with a clean fluffy brush. So now taking Deep Purple from the Self-Made Palette and a flat shaded brush. This one is a little bit more on the fluffier side, and it is a synthetic brush, which I definitely recommend since you definitely do need to pack on this color and build it up to the opaqueness that you want. So that's pretty much what I did. I just kept on building the color and also blending it just to make sure that it wasn't too harsh around the crease area. And also to ensure the opaqueness, I took my Tony Moly Moist Mist and I just sprayed it on the brush that I was using and just placed it in Deep Purple again, and then just packed that on my lid as well. And it just makes the color just much more bolder, and then again blending away. I used Deep Purple for my base, and then I took my favorite color from this palette, Pink Champagne, and a flat shaded brush again, and just sprayed the Tony Moly Moist Mist onto the brush and dipped it into Pink Champagne and just popped that right on my lid, and it's just magic, guys. Look at how beautiful these two colors combined are. They're just stunning and perfect for a New Year's Eve look. I wanted to create a New Year's Eve look with two of my favorite things, which is purple shadow and glitter. So that's what I did. So I took Deep Purple again, and using a pointy crease brush, I just placed this onto my crease once again. I just wanted to add a little more purple to my crease. I didn't want that color to get lost with the lid color, so that's what I did. And then I just applied Pink Champagne on top of my lids because a little bit of that color just kind of dissipated a little bit. I also took Sherbet and Hot and Cold once again and just placed that a little bit above my crease color just to add a little bit more warmth and just to kind of blend everything else together as well. To deepen up this look, I took Metallic Plum with a pencil brush. This one is a little bit more on the fluffier side, and I just placed this on the outer V. And then you will notice that I use another brush, a more pointier, denser brush, just to get a more precise line, because I really wanted this to be kind of sharp on the outer end of my eyes. So here you will see me trying to form the shape that I want. And it's just a really nice, just sharp V pretty much. And then I'm blending the colors just so that it's not too harsh. I needed to equal out my eyes a little bit with the Metallic Plum on my other eye, so I just added a little bit more Metallic Plum onto my crease and just blended that out. So for my inner corner highlight, I took Whimsical, which is a Makeup Geek foiled shadow. This is such a beauty. It's a unicorn eyeshadow. And then I wanted some opalescence to my inner corner, so I took the Metal Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck from Kat Von D and also placed that in my inner corner. Mix those two colors together and it's perfection. And then I went back in with Buttery and a big fluffy eyeshadow brush and just placed this on my brow bone just to kind of clean up everything. And then a baby wipe, of course, and just cleaned up the outer edge of my eye. So for liner, I took the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Delirious. This is a beautiful purple with a lot of shimmers, like a deep purple. I use this as a base for my glitter liner, but I pretty much just follow the shape of my eyeshadow. And then I took the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner in Distortion. Distortion, Delirious, they're like a match made in heaven. But it's such a beautiful glitter eyeliner. It has some pink, some green, some purple. It's just gorgeous on top of any like darker liner. Yes. So then I followed up with mascara. This is the Catrice Lashes to Kill. I am using falsies though today. And then I use the 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in Perversion and just place this on my tightline. I also placed this on my waterline as well, but I didn't film that. So then I use the velour lashes. This one is in Flary. It's a beautiful flared out lash, just as the name states. So now on to the face. So I actually used two primers for this look. The first one is the Touch and Soul Feel Like Honey Moon Skin Base. This is cool. It's an interesting primer. It's very like gooey like honey, but it's so moisturizing on the skin. It has collagen extract, honey extract, it has hyaluronic acid, so it definitely does hydrate my skin, and I needed it for this look because I use a matte foundation. Yes, people, you heard correctly. So the other primer that I use is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, another primer that I am absolutely obsessed with. This one definitely does give a nice sheen, a nice glow, healthy glow to the skin, which I love. So I used those primers together, and they're just wonderful for the dry skin. So I use my Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, and this is just such a wonderful matte foundation. Actually, I don't really have any complaints. It's quite full coverage, but with the primers that I used, it definitely didn't make my face look crusty. I use my beauty blender, and I feel like using the beauty blender is probably one of the best ways to apply this foundation, but yeah, it's definitely a winner. Since I was going for a more intense, like holiday kind of look, I wanted a full coverage foundation, and this definitely covered all of my freckles, well, almost all of my freckles, so it's definitely different for me because I tend to go for a more medium coverage, but I do like it. And then I took my Tony Moly Moist Mist again and just sprayed my face with that, so it wasn't so stark of a foundation. So since I did have a pretty high coverage foundation, I just went ahead and used one concealer as sort of like my highlighting concealer. And this is the Naked Skin from Urban Decay in the shade Light Warm. And I just used this to highlight the points that I wanted to highlight. So like around my nose area, underneath my eyes, around the lips area, my cupid's bow, and then my forehead. And then I just blended that all out with a beauty blender. I am really starting to dig the beauty blender. I definitely get the craze now. It took me a while, but I am loving the beauty blender. Another product that I've been loving is this Bare Minerals Ready Bronzer in the Skinny Dip. So I took a small powder brush and just bronzed my face. And you definitely would need to bronze your face, especially with a high coverage foundation, because then you will look pasty. So this definitely warms up the face. I took a more precise, like fluffy brush and just bronzed up my nose as well, the sides of my nose, and then just blended that out a little bit so it wasn't too harsh. And then for contour, of course, I used my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So to set my concealer and also brighten my under eyes some more, I used the Benai Banana Powder. And I'm going to try the baking process one day, I promise. So this is the Nars Matahari blush. It is a beautiful like pinky purple blush. If you are scared of purple blushes, this one is a good option to start with, just because it does look so like natural on your cheeks. For my highlight, I actually used two highlights. I used the Hard Candy Baked Blush in Honeymoon. This is more of a drier consistency, so you definitely do need to build up the color, but it's a beautiful pink highlight. So I used that, and then I went ahead and used the Kat Von D Middle Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. This can be used as a highlight, an eyeshadow, everything. So this definitely gave a little bit more pizzazz that I wanted. Okay, so back to my eyes. I'm taking the ABH Self-Made Palette again, using a pencil brush and dipping it into metallic plum. I'm placing this on my lower lash line. I'm really smoking this out, and then I'm taking a fluffy brush and just blending that color away just to really make it very smoky underneath my eyes. With a small, more precise eyeshadow brush, I took Makeup Geek's Whimsical and added that to my lower inner corner. And then with a small smudger brush, I took Sherbet once again and added this also to my lower lash line just to warm up everything and really balance everything out. I feel like it blended everything nicely. I then took Isla, which is a beautiful mint green shadow from the Self-Made Palette, and a small smudger brush, and I just placed this color right in the center of my lower lash line, and that just added a little bit of magic. And then I took the Catrice Lashes to Kill mascara once again and just placed this on my lower lashes. So for the lips, I have a couple options because you know how I do. So the first one is the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Midi, and this is a beautiful like mid-tone pink. It's kind of on the nude side, I guess, but it does dry down to a more mid-tone kind of pink. You know, I had to add some gloss to it. If you like the matte lip, stick with that. But I did add the Jessie's Girls Glow Sticks lip gloss on top of it. This one is in the shade Wicked. Look at how gorgeous this lip gloss is. Seriously, guys. For a darker lip, I used Lamarck lip cream in magenta. And that completes my look, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope 2015 was a fabulous year for you, but I hope 2016 is even better.